Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. What you're seeing on my screen is a kind of a dependent that I was referring. Tenant is nothing but a kind of workplace instance, and there is nothing but a kind of GMS tenant. Whatever we discussed in our demo, a kind of landscape of tenants that covers actual subscription tenants. We will be subscribing for production, sandbox, and implementation. This is not a kind of live tenant. It's a kind of training tenant. They kind of name it as GMS tenant, Global Modern Services, which will not be maintained actually. All the production live tenants will be under maintenance of Workday every weekend or every quarter, every half early. Those will undergo for maintenance activities. But whatever you're seeing on my screen is a kind of training tenant that will not undergo any maintenance activities. And you'll see when you're practicing your activities that we'll be discussing here. We'll be having a lot of junk data because it's not a kind of well-maintained, refresh tenant. You'll be seeing a lot of huge data. Don't focus on any of junk data, whatever will be, performing any kind of hands-on. The first session will be getting into organizations will be creating from the scratch. Just focus on what you're creating. Don't look at the data that is already there in the system because that is invalid data. People will be practicing, they will be creating some objects or some kind of organizations with, invalid or incorrect information. Don't look for the information that is already there in the system because there's not a live tenant. There's a kind of training tenant, but whatever Workday provides the functionalities, the kind of configurations, the kind of features of the product, integration reports, any kind of configurations, everything will be having this tenant. And it is actually compatible to the tenant that we already have in the life. Whatever live tenant will be having the same options, features, everything you'll be having this tenant. Only the thing is, since we'll be working on this tenant, there will be a lot of invalid or incorrect data that will be inputting. Don't look at the data that is already there in the system. Just focus on what we are creating in the output and the feature and the concept. Those are the only things that you can focus and get that idea of the concept. Now coming to the tenant. This is a kind of, as I said, a kind of GMS tenant. For user, will be every employee who will be working in Workdays will be having a user. They will be getting into Workday. The two things that you remember is when you join a kind of Workday team, you'll be having the same tenant with a different access because you'll be supporting Workday application. You'll be having a different security access where you can navigate any of the employee information from the search bar. But a regular employee, who is a kind of end user, they'll be having a different kind of security. They'll be not able to view any other employee's information. Only you are the folks because you'll be supporting the Workday application. You'll be viewing all the data that is there in the system. That is just because of the security that is assigned for you. And the first thing that I want to talk about is when you go to your profile, employee profile right now as Adam, a kind of profile. If you see here, there is an option called sitemap. When you get into Workday, probably you'll be not aware of the tasks that are available and activities that are available in Workday, categories that are available in Workday. You'll be not aware. Sitemap is one of the tasks that will direct you to the list of the tasks or list of the activities reports that are available for that particular category. If you click on that sitemap, you'll be getting into this page where it will be showing all the categories. And for each category, you'll be seeing list of reports that are available and list of tasks that are available. Let's say if I wanted to actually go for benefits. If someone asks you, can you actually create a benefit plan or create? Let me proxy as one of the super user. Adam does not have some specific permissions. What I'll do is I'll proxy as one of the user who have all the permissions in this tenant. There is a task called proxy which allows you to proxy as that person and view the data as that person. Logan McNeil is a kind of super user in this tenant. I'm proxying as her that she'll have all the permissions which I can look at. I'm going to go into sitemap. When you go to employee profile, you'll have an option called sitemap that will be directing you to list of categories where you can see the list of available reports on the list of the tasks for that category, which will let you know these are the tasks that are available for under that category. Let's say if I'm going to benefits, these are all the list of the tasks. If someone asks you, hey, can you actually initiate open enrollment? You will not be knowing how to actually perform that activity, since you don't know the task that needs to be accessed in the search bar. Sitemap is one thing that will let you get into that category, and you can actually list them all the tasks that are available. Let's say integrations. If someone asks you to create integration, someone asks you to create integration, you don't know what are the tasks that are available for the integrations. You can come to the category called integration and find out list of the tasks that are available and choose the appropriate task that will allow you to create integration. Whether it is a delivered integration or custom integration, all these are the options that you will be having here. You can choose as how you want it to. All I wanted to say is sitemap is one thing that will allow you to list down all the tasks that are available in Workplace. It will populate all the tasks under each category, which will allow you to perform the task. Let's say if I wanted to create an EIB. I don't know. Assuming that I don't know what is the task, I'll come here. Choose integration. I'll choose integration. See what is related to EIB here. There is a task called create EIB. I'll click on that EB. I'll click on EIB, which allow me to create integration with EIB. Such kind of tasks and reports you'll be able to view from the sitemap. This is when you get into Workdays, the first few days till you get used to the system and aware of the tasks that are mostly used in Workday. You can look for the sitemap that will navigate you to the task and to the reports that are available in Work. This is one of the things you can remember. So, anyone have any questions? Amit, what is EB as such? EIB is nothing but integration. Probably we'll be talking in our integration concept. I just showed you a kind of example. If I wanted to create an integration with EIB, how would I go and navigate to that particular tasks? Integration is kind of category that you can select and go to EIB to create an integration. Or if you wanted to do some kind of edit the existing EIB in the system, you can do that. Or you can see a lot of tasks that are available to integrations. As per your need, you can select the tasks that will be direct here to the particular area of road day. Anything let's say if someone asks you to create a security group, security, you can come to security category. You can come to security category and see what are all the tasks that are available under security. If you are about to access anything related to security, you can come to security category. You can find the list of the tasks that are available under security. That was the thing objective of a sitemap, which will be directing you to the particular task that will be used in Workday, and reports that are created under that particular category. Now tell me, where do you find sitemap in Workday? Under Profile. Under Profile? Under Profile. What is the purpose of sitemap? For integration. To navigate all the activities or tasks which are available in Workday. Sitemap navigates you to the tasks under each category that are available in Workday. Also, it shows all the reports that are created under that particular category. Makes sense? That is one of the important things that you need to know. And once you get into Workday, you'll be getting community access. You can navigate to community through Workday only. If you click on documentation, it will be directing you to Resource Center, where you'll be inputting your username and password. That will get you kind of community access. It has actually got into my official access. You'll be getting into this portal where you can access your community. Right now, it has taken default. This is actually connecting from my official system from cookies. It has taken my official login and it has got me into the community. This is where you'll get into the community and you'll be actually finding all the necessary documents and the administration guides related to each of the configuration. All historical releases of Workday you'll be finding in this community. This is one thing you'll be getting when you actually log into Workday. Log into community. And the other thing that you want to know is inbox. Inbox is one thing which will actually get you the list of activities that you are supposed to take. When I say list of activities means, let's say if you're joining as a kind of Workday developer or Workday configurator. There will be a security that will be assigned for you where you are accountable to perform any actions in Workday. If you're joining as a kind of Workday analyst, senior Workday analyst, or Workday developer or Workday configurator, you are supposed to make a lot of activities, including the configurations, including reports, including integrations, everything. Whatever security that is assigned, that will allow you to perform the activities. Since you will be a kind of a Workday person, you will be having complete access involved. Among the access, one is the prominent or important. The security group is HR administrator. HR administrator is a security group that will allow you to perform all the HR related activities. All the HR related activities you will be able to perform with the security group called HR administrator. Will be able to allow you to hire an employee, will be able to edit employee profile, make a job changes, promote an employee, transfer an employee from one location to another location, or make contact changes of employee, personal data changes, everything. You will be getting a complete access when you get HR administrator security group access. That will allow you to modify any of the information related to HR in Workday. When you get HR administrator related security group that is assigned to you, all the HR related actionable items. If employee is getting hired into the system and if you wanted to approve the hire or assign some compensation, all those activities you will be getting to your inbox. Inbox is nothing but which will allow you to take action based on the security group that is assigned to you, that will allow you to perform. Let's say you are the manager of one of the employee. You are the manager and your team member have applied leaves, and those leaves needs your approval. Those leaves will be coming to your inbox and you will be approving those leaves, and the leaves will be approved in the system. And employee can go on leave once approved. An employee submits any kind of reimbursements. As a manager, you need to approve those reimbursements. You will be getting all those list of actionable activities into your inbox. Inbox is nothing but that will give you a task where you need to action on those things. You need to take approval or deny or reject or send back. All these are the options that you will be having where you can take the required action through inbox. I love kind of inbox like Outlook. You will not be getting class in your Outlook, but only specific to Workbase here. Here you can see create position. Position has been created and this guy log on has to approve this position. She'll be approving if it needs an approval. All these are the how do we get approval, how do we say configure, send back, how do we add this option called add approvals. All these are will be learning in our future concepts. But to know for you is inbox item is nothing but which will provide you a list of the tasks where you need to take an action. Clear any questions on this? Inbox is nothing but which will get you a list of the activities that you are supposed to take an action. And the other one is bell icon where you can see the notifications. Based on the security you will be getting you will be notified on the status actually. Whatever activities that are going on to let you know about the status of that activity. you will be getting a notification. This is not any kind of view. You are not supposed to take any action from the notification. This is just for your information. That is the difference between notifications and inboxing. You will be mostly using your inbox and notifications when you are actually taking care of any of the activities. If you create any integrations, if you configure a notification on that integration for any completions, for any failures, if you wanted to notify on the status of the integration, you will be getting an integration status. That integration is completed or failed, or about it or no, completed with warnings. All those things you will be getting here. And this is something but a kind of chart bar. Probably you would have seen, in most of the applications in recent days, we are actually getting a kind of chart bar kind of feature, and Workday has got similar chart bar feature called Workday Assistance, and which will actually ask you to any of the tasks that you wanted to navigate to Workday. And also it will be returning the data that you will be requesting. What activities this Workday Assistance will be supporting, and basic information, your name, your employee, your information, this will be giving. Nothing other than this. This will right now, this is restricted to only time off. When I say time off is nothing but your leaves, it will be taking care of your leaves. It will be getting your balances of your leave and how many you have, how many accruals that you have made. All those things you will be getting from this assistance, but still it is in progress. In future we may see all other categories will be coming into this assistance, and you can actually use as a kind of fully flexed assistance that you can get all the tasks listed in this assistance. Can we generate the employee number from this tool also? Or employee ID will be generated automatically when employee hired into the system. When you hire an employee into Workday, automatically employee ID will get generated. That you will be seeing when you are hiring an employee. When you hire an employee, automatically Workday will be generating employee ID. You can see employee ID automatically. When employee gets hired into the system by default Workday, employee ID will get generated. That you will see. When we go into hire activity, when we hire some employee, you will see employee generation partner. Since this is a HR application, this is a kind of a basic feature that it has to have having an employee ID for every employee. Then let's hide into the system. To check one more thing. If, like some companies have categorized between the contractor on a part-time and full-time employee. They have. Even Workday has same kind of categories. We have employee type. Employee type as full-time employee, a regular employee, contractor, fixed-term, part-time, intern contractors. All these are the employee types. When you hire an employee, when you create a position, and when you hire an employee under the position who is a full-time employee or regular employee or part-time employer, contractor employee, based on that employee type, your employee will be generated. If it is contractor, if you wanted to identify contractors with the CW before the employee, you can prefix CW. If you wanted to have your regular employees with a different sequence, you can do that. All those are things. The default possibilities with Workday. That is about the Workday assistance. Now we'll go to employee profile and see what are all the options that the employee will have or you will be able to view as a kind of end user in Workday. Based on that, we will be actually developing all these categories. Let's say you have a Logan McKeel who is a manager. Manager is nothing, but who will be managing this organization? We will be creating these organizations and make some person as a manager and hire an employee under that manager, that you will be seeing a new profile at employee. All those are our list of activities in our concepts, core HR concepts. When you get into employee profile, you will be seeing all these are the tasks. Summary is nothing but which will give you a high level information of the summary. What is the cost center? Who is the manager? What is the supervisor organization? Employee ID. All the job information you will be seeing here. Job history, everything you know, skills that you'll be uploading as part of skills you know, you'll be seeing everything in a summary. And if you go into overview, it will give you a kind of high level information. These are all configurable items. Whatever you're seeing, compensation, additional data, or these are all configured. This is not a kind of right configuration. Now overview is nothing but which will be giving you a kind of overview of the profile, not a compensation. But these are all configurable items which you know some of the trainee who wanted to configure this, they would have configured. But generally you will not see compensation information in overview. You will see some overview of the profile information. Compensation will be viewing in compensation data. Overview is nothing but which will give you a kind of high level profile information, and whatever you're seeing the tabs here, additional data, compensation, these are all configurable items. However we wanted to have, however our business requesting, we can configure all these options here. Probably we'll be seeing in our sessions how we can actually add these configurations, and we can add this to our website. And pay is nothing but all the payroll information of you. You have to pay your pay sleeve, your pay group, which pay group you belong to, your pay sleeves, what kind of pay inputs you know that you have, the pay components, what kind of pay inputs. These are all the pay inputs that you have. All these things you know you're seeing. And since Workday is part of payroll, built in payroll module for all us countries, us employees, they can view all their tax selections, tax documents, and their withholding orders, pay strips, everything within Workday. They can view all the pay strips, everything related to payroll, and they can view everything within Workday. But other than us, other than Canada, UK, if anyone wanted to view their pay information, there has to be a kind of custom integration built in order to have this information from a third-party payroll system. This is a kind of employee who is from United States, where Workday payroll was part of the United States. That employee is able to view all the payroll information here. Pay is nothing but which will be populating all the pay related information. And job is nothing but which will be providing you all the job related information. Your job history, your job details when you have joined the organization, and what are all the organization that you're part of. This is first thing you know that we'll be discussing when we are actually getting into the actual concepts organizations will be discussing. What organization that employee is belonging to. All those list of organizations you'll be seeing worker history, the historical activities of worker and the leave balance, additional data, all these things you'll be seeing in job information. Again, these are all configurable items. Whatever you are seeing according to our requirements, we can configure. Leave balance is not a right activity that needs to be in job. Someone would have added incorrectly. Leave balance should be somewhere with time off, not with job, but again whatever you wanted to have here as per your business requirement, we can actually add it here. And whatever model that you are subscribed, if you are subscribed for benefits, you'll be seeing benefits. If you are subscribed for performance, you'll be seeing performance here. And if you subscribe for absence, you'll be seeing absence. If you have any kind of learning, you can actually get your learnings, the track and the career. All the subscriptions will be giving you multiple options. If you are a subscriber, compensation, you will be getting compensation option. When you configure this one, all the modules will subscribe those related tasks. You'll be getting here to view that particular information job or use summary or part of core HRR. You'll be seeing your job information. Basically, when you subscribe for core HR, these are the options that employee will have in his or her profile. These are called profile option. Someone asked you find out benefits from employee profile. When they ask you this, we need to go to benefits of employee profile. Someone asked you, can you get me list of the benefit plans that employees enrolled into? How we will be getting that information? You'll be getting into benefits and you will see this employee is enrolled to 401k and computer spending plans of benefits. If someone asks you what are the goals that employees submitted very recently, you'll be going to performance, going to individual, see the goals, and you'll be giving this goal information to the requested person. And again, performance is nothing but where you'll be actually adding the goals, editing goals, submitting your goals to your review. And once the performance review is completed, all your manager ratings that you will be getting from manager, you'll be getting in performance review. As part of your annual salary increment or annual compensation process or annual appraisal process with your rating is actually considered. This is where your rating you'll be able to see. Review status awaiting all these things. You'll see from as part of performance review. This is where your performance is evaluated and rated here. You can view your performance rating that your manager will be getting in Workday. These are all the profile options which you're frequently working when you get into Workday because you'll be managing people data. People data is nothing but employee data. You'll be managing employee data. And these are all the employee profile related options which will navigate you to manage this data. These are all the profile options. And when you actually hide, you'll be getting an email, you'll be getting a phone, and you'll getting a team, your team members. All this information you'll be when you add your phone number, when you add your email, you'll be getting that information here. Any questions here? Once you are aware of these basic things, the other important thing that you need to know is team hierarchy. The first thing that you'll be getting transition when you get to Workday position is they'll be walking through the organization hierarchy. How the organization hierarchy is built within Workday system, and they'll be walking through from top level hierarchy to all the downstream subordinate hierarchies. This is kind of organization hierarchy which is there in Workday. All the employees will be part of these hierarchies, will not be creating, will not be touching any of these hierarchies, but when we get into activities, we'll create these hierarchies right from the scratch. We'll create our own hierarchies. We'll hire a few team members and get them part of these hierarchies. We'll not be, making or using any of this hierarchy. We'll be creating our own hierarchy that you will get to know how to actually maintain organization hierarchy, how to handle organization. When we get into our first activity, this is what we are going to do. We are going to build entire hierarchy. When you get into Workday role or when you get into further position, the first activity that you'll be getting a transition is walking through on the organization hierarchy. The organization hierarchy is nothing but who will be part of the organization. In this scenario, CEO who will be the primary person. One of the company who will be handling the primary organization. CEO will be part of this top level organization under which you'll be seeing all other people who are reporting to CEO and all others who are reporting to leadership team and all others who are reporting to manager. The leaders, everyone will be part of this hierarchy, but their organizations. Their team members will be showing under this hierarchy. These are nothing but a kind of organization chart. Organization chart is nothing but which will show you the kind of hierarchy that is followed within the organization with the list of the employees, the list of the, when I say employee, even CEO will be the employee. It will be showing all the employees who are part of the organization hierarchy. You'll be able to see. Might be you'll be walking through, this is the person who is a CEO, and this is a person who is a vice president of IT, who is vice president of HR, who is vice president of Workday, who is vice president of people data. All those kinds of transitions you'll be getting when you get into your Workday position. A kind of transition you'll be getting as a kind of first level to make you aware of the people or system. In our first concept, we will be discussing about organizations and will be creating hierarchy. Probably when we create, we will not see like this. This is not a properly created hierarchy. When we create, we'll hire a person and we'll make that person as a manager, and we'll hire a few more team members under that manager and see how our hierarchy will be popular. We'll be seeing more clear organization hierarchy when we create organizations. But for you, just as part of introductory navigation sessions, I'm trying to give you a kind of basic idea. What is an organization? What does this consist of? And since this is the first activity that you will be transitioned when you join in Workday position. That is about the organization hierarchy. And if you go to employee profile, as I said, write organizations. This Logan is reporting to Steve, and Steve is managing executive management supposed organization. I'll tell you what is supposed organization, why it is coming here. You know all those background of supervisor organization in a while, but you need to know how it actually views. How we can view the list of members who are part of this. Let's say Logan is the person who is actually reporting to Steve, and Steve is managing executive management supervisor organization. You can see who are all part of this supposed organization. You can see all these are the members, 7 members who are part of executive management supervisory organization. Logan Muckley is also one member in the team. There is a reason why Logan is showing the team members. All the team members who are reporting to Steve, who is managing supposedly organization, you will be seeing here. Probably in future you may be, when you get hired, you may be reporting to one of the manager, and that manager will be managing the supposedly organization, and you will be one of the member among the list of employees under that supposedly organization. And when you come to details, it will be showing all the details of the supervisor organization when it has got created, what type of organization it is, and is it visible to everyone, and what is at top level. You know the executive management to whom this executive management is reporting, and who are reporting to executive management as a kind of subordinates. You can see these are all the subordinates who are reporting to executive management, and executive management will be reporting to top level person. When I say the reporting to executive management is nothing but a department, this department is maintained by Steve Morgan. And as you have seen in my previous screen, where Logan is reporting to that person, right? That person is managing executive management supervised organization, and that person will be reporting to this 3000 global modern services. And people who are reporting to Steve is executive management, you'll be seeing as a subordinates. As a subordinates, these are the three. These are the few subordinates. Naming conventions are not properly maintained. Just ignore the naming conventions we have here. Probably when we create, we'll be creative, we'll be going with proper names. That the hub or in actual scenario, naming convention will be maintaining, will be going with the proper naming convention. But just to understand, subordinates are nothing but who are reporting to superiors, and superior is nothing but where it has a few members reporting to that person. As a kind of manager, it can assume manager will be having team members reporting to that, and manager will be reporting to his manager or her manager, and that person will be reporting to the other person. And similarly, you can go to top level, right? You'll be reporting to manager, your manager will be reporting to senior manager, and that person will be reporting to director, and director will be reporting to vice president, and vice president will be reporting to CDO. Like that, you can see the hierarchy, right? The same hierarchy follows here. Whatever I've shown you in organization hierarchy, the same kind of organization hierarchy will be followed. And independently, if you wanted to see what organization is reporting to what organization and who are the ones that are reporting to the organization, you can see as subordinates in details. You can view that information. And the other thing is staffing. Staffing is nothing but which allows you hope you can hire an employee if you wanted to hire. An employee staffing model will allow you. If you wanted to hire an employee, you wanted to hire through position to be created in the system and then hire an employee. If you wanted to go with that process, you can select the position management staffing model. And if you don't want to go with the position, you can create another staffing model, which we can see when we are getting into organizations. Staffing is nothing but which will show you members who will be part of this members list in future. A candidate who is getting hired in the system and who applied for a job and interview is in progress on all the recruiting activities and progress that position that person will be showing under staffing. And once all the hiring activities completed, that person will be becoming employee and employee will be part of the member. You will be seeing staffing is nothing but which will be showing future employees in the tab. Employees who the candidates who are going to be an employee in future, they will be showing in the staffing tab. Once all the staffing activities are complete, you will be seeing members here and unavailable to fill when job requisition is created. Generally, as part of recruiting, we need to create a position when we wanted to hire an employee. When position is created, a requisition will be created and requisition will be released to the market and will be seeing in job portals. This position is available in this company in this location. Alright, all those are job requisitions. Job requisitions are posted in job posting. That you will be seeing all those positions in LinkedIn, and now a lot of job portals are there. You will be seeing those positions. Those are nothing but a kind of job requisitions which are posted in external recruiting portals or internal recruiting portals in this English. All those, when you create something in Workday kind of job requisition, you will be seeing unavailable to fill. When this job requisition goes for staffing, it will be going for staffing. And once the staffing is completed, which means that all the recruiting activities are completed, that person who is under staffing will be moved to members. Unavailable to fill is nothing, but when job requisitions are created, that requisitions under the particular supervisor organization will be showing up here. You can see here a Chief Executive Officer requisition has got created and Vice President for Human Resources has got created. And similarly, you can create any of the job requisition and release it for hiring. If you are working, whether it is within the organization or outside of the organization, external hiring or internal hiring, you can actually get it from here. And roles. Roles are nothing but a kind of security. What securities that are assigned to for the supervisor organization are defaultly populated when supposedly organization is getting created. I probably will be talking about roles in our security concept. And the other thing that you need to know is security groups also will be covering in our security topic. But what security is granted to the supervisor organization? You will be seeing the list of security groups. Another important thing that you need to know is organization assignments. Organization assignments are nothing but a company cost center. These things company, let's say you are getting hired into Amazon. Amazon is nothing but a kind of company, right? Amazon is nothing but company. Where it is company? It is in India or Singapore, Australia or US or Canada. You should be having different company in different country, right? When you are hired in India, you will be selecting Amazon India. When you are hired in Amazon US, you will be hired. Whatever name that they have given for Amazon US, you will be getting hired under them. If you are hired under Australia, you will be hired under Australia Amazon. Those companies will be added here. Those company information will be added here. Whichever company that you are getting hired, is nothing but your organization, but different. Let's say if your organization is there in the US as a kind of headquartered company, and India you have, its operational activities are going on in India, and they would have established India company here. And when you are hiring into the system, you will be under India employee of that company. That's where you'll be. Whenever you create a supervisor organization, you need to configure organization assessment assignments, which will let you know which company or which cost center that organization is belonging to. That is nothing but organization assignments. When we are doing our first activity, we will be doing all these things. We'll be creating org assignments. We'll be creating the organizations. Everything will be creating, and we'll be assigning these org assignments to the supervisor organizations. When I say supervisor organization, this is nothing but in this scenario it is executive management. We will be creating similar supervisor organizations and will be attaching org assignments. We'll be creating org assignments. We'll be creating a company. We'll be creating cost center and assign those activities to our supervisor organizations. That you know the entire hierarchy, how the system is built. This is something that you need to know. These are the basic navigated items that you need to understand. The other thing is, as you all know, that Workday is a kind of search-driven application which will be returning data based on the search criteria. Whatever you wanted to access, you'll be accessing from search bar. If you wanted to create report, you'll be accessing from search bar. If you wanted to create integration, you'll be doing here. And if you wanted to actually delete the report, everything is search driven. You can perform every task from the search bar, and this is the only application that you have to work. There is no other application, a backend or front end or a database or a server. There is nothing. This is the only single application that you'll be working on. If you wanted to build integration, you'll be building here. If you wanted to build a report, you'll be building here. Any kind of core configuration that you're making, you'll be doing in the same application. No other external application will be there. You'll be managing everything within this application. And all the search driven tasks will be you'll be fixing that. You'll be getting all those related tasks. If you are not aware of the tasks or prefixes that needs to be used, you can go for question tag. That will return you all these list of tasks available in Workday. Enter question tag and hit enter. You will be getting all the prefixes that are available in Workday. If you wanted to return any employee, let's say in this case, if you wanted to return John Smith, you need to worker : John Smith. you'll be getting worker profile. If you wanted to return based on employee ID colon, you'll get. If you give employee, you'll be getting that person. B colon. If you give the name of the BP, you'll be getting this one, job requisition. Job requisition colon requisition number, you'll be getting. Similarly, you'll be having all of the, if you wanted to return candidates. This is how we know. You'll be prefixing candidate colon, candidate name you'll be giving. And similarly, you'll be having all the other prefixes that you can see here. These are all the list of prefixes that are available in Workday. And by the end of this course, you should be aware of all the activities, all the tasks, all the prefixes that you'll be using here. There is, these are the few basic navigations that you need to know as a kind of start when you're starting something on Workday. And we'll be discussing further the concepts, and we'll be actually getting into organizations in our next session. We'll be discussing what is an organization, how it is the getting created, or what are the features, and all in our next session. You just type in create position. I need 2 positions and give to. I don't have any job, family, or job profile details. I have selected no job, but I will talk about these 3 once we are done with the organizations. I have 2 positions. I've created. What is the next step now? We need to hire an employee. You will be seeing hire. Here you might be getting confused. We have 4 hiring by task. Why these are coming here? Generally, we need to have only one right here. Definitely, we need to have only one hire task here. You should not see for the reason why you're seeing for this. There's inbound loading process through hire employee. We can hire employees manually, as well as we can automate through inbound integration. When you create inbound, integration will be generating template. We'll be creating template and input employee details in that and load that employees into those templates. Those inbound creations are generated 4 times. Those web service nothing but when you want it to load and load data into Workday. It has to be a kind of service. Those higher web services are generated 4 times. That is the reason why you're seeing 4 tasks. In general scenario, in actual tenant, we will not see this many. You'll see only one hire employee task for position. Don't get confused here. You'll not see this many tasks in actual tenant. We'll hardly see only one. Now to choose the actual one, the one that we are working, go to second one. Second one, which will actually let you hire an employee. When you see hire employee with this task, exit pre-hired former worker, create new pre-hired. These are the default options. When you see these options under hire employee, which means that this is the actual task that you need to hire an employee. But if I go to other this thing, let's say if I go to very first one, you need to select your pre-hired worker or former worker in this. If you are getting to this page, this is not the right task for hiring an employee. People who have created that would have created with invalid details. Don't select this one. Select the second one. When you are doing this task, select the second one which actually gets you to this page which will ask you these details before you hire an employee, which is the actual right task to hire an employee. Yesterday we discussed about these 3 options. Anyone remember? Anyone can give the information about these 3 options. It means the candidate who left the company. Now again he wants to join the company. It's like there's a former worker. What is it? Maybe that candidate who has rejoined the organization again. The candidate who is working as a contract but now again he wants to take to a permanent existing. No, I think they've completed all through their all the paperwork, but they might fully function, fully got hired onto the job. They left before then, they got the background check. They got all that stuff done, but they were not able to do it. They're not able to go on to the job. Pre-hire is nothing but whenever you're hiring an employee. The person who has completed all the pre-hire activities like interview, assessment, screening, reference, background check, offer release. All those are pre-hire related activities. The candidate who has completed all those pre-hire activities the moment offer generates. After completing all the pre-hire activities, a pre-hire record will be created in the Workday. After pre-hire record gets created in the Workday, through that pre-hire record will be hiring the candidate as an employee. When the pre-hire record has got created, the candidate has not joined and offer has got declined. The pre-hire record will still be existing in the system. Will not hire the candidate because the candidate has not accepted the offer, but all the recruiting activities have completed. We'll have pre-hired. Probably you know he'll be interested or the candidate would be interested to join another position that might be created. When there is a scenario of such kind, you'll be taking that existing pre-hire record which is already there in the system. That the ID, the pre-hire ID that will be there for the candidate will be revoked and attached to hire record. That is a pre-hire. And former worker who is actually working as a kind of worker, as an employee, the organization got terminated. And when we're actually hiring the former worker, we'll be selecting this one that we'll be having. The previous employee attached to this former worker will be revoked and will be activated again when you hire former worker and create new hire. When these two scenarios are not existing, in the scenario we wanted to go for brand new hiring, we'll be selecting this task to go for new pre-hire, new hiring task. Creating new hire. Since last day is mandatory, I'll be giving Stephen R. And at least one contact information we need to give when we hire an employee. I'll be giving some random contact number. I have not given hire date. I'll be giving yesterday's. The reason why is since in a year it is still 25, it is not 26 in a year, and this tenant is actually local time zone for this tenant is years. And that's the reason why 25. If I give 26, it will not be showing up. Probably after 11 or after 12, I will be seeing that employee will be effective, will be showing up in the tenant because we'll be giving a future date. But as an end date it is 26, but in the years it is still 25, right? That is the reason why I've given a steady state, which is actually today's date in the years. Employee type. When I'm actually hiring a full-time employee, I'll give a regular as employee type. But these are depends upon the organization requirement. We have a regular intern, fix it. This is a temporary worker. All these things will be having. The based on organization requirement will be selecting employee type. Job profile. Since we have not created, I will be selecting the one that is already there in the tenant. We have created a position as associated with present, but we are taking job profile as vice versa. It doesn't matter. Full-time is a kind of time type. And location. Job profile is nothing but it actually provides characteristics of job roles and responsibilities. Probably even vice president will be having the same kind of characteristics of a job of associate with present. That might be anything that matches to the position that you have created. You can select. which actually defines the job characteristics. I've taken a location, submit this. You have seen Stephen R. I remember. The first, this position should have got filled. We'll be seeing only one position that is open now. Is in one position and members will be seeing. Stephen would have been part of the members. Now what is the next step that we need to do? We need to hide barbarels. What we need to do? We need to go to the position. Generally, you have the right job profiles since you know we are picking the best. But then I live in your making this task. You need to have a job profile to be associated with the position. We create one job profile. After the recruiters will be creating job profile. The last day. And we'll see more also. And what is the next step that we need to do? Once we have these two positions filled, what are the next activity that we need to do? We have to create Stephen and Barbara's managers. We need to assign these folks as managers for the subordinate organization that we already created. What we need to do now? And to go to the security for Stephen. And it was a manager role for Stephen that person will be the manager for the support. assigned roles, when you're fading, remember select the second one. Don't go for first one or any other one. These are all invalid roles. You select the one that is the second one, which will actually get you the manager as a kind of. The other things are created with manager role, but those are not assigned the right security. You'll not be able to make that person as a manager. Select the second one, the manager, and Steve, the selected as a manager, and the selected of the security has got Steven as a kind of manager. Earlier was Robert Williams. Now it has got changed to Steven because we assigned that person as a manager. With under Steven, again we need to create positions for further who are under. We need to create before that we'll be assigning these two guys as managers. Now we need to assign report analytics for Barbara. I need to go. Where I need to go to as a nurse. Go to the roads, same roads. I need to go to the roads. I need to go to the roads. If you wanted to give a future date, you can give your future date. Don't consider the midnight, morning, afternoon, evening. Whatever today's date that is there in the tenant, that will be far from. It won't go with time zones. Whatever currently that is sitting in that tenant time zone, even if it is night, evening of this day, it will take today's date as a kind of effective. After it, it will take the next days as a kind of effective date. You don't need to do anything if you want. If you have a requirement to have Barbara as a kind of manager for this reporting and index from 1st of November, you can give 1st of November. If you wanted to give backdated, you can do backdated. That's an option that you have. Now we have Steven and Barbara are managing this respect to support our organizations. That's how we define in the chat. Now we need to hide these two positions and these two positions under these two organizations. We need to have two positions under Steven's organizations and two positions under Barbara's organization. I've created two positions. And this, Steven's organization. And the barbers have created. We'll take two positions and the barber's organization as a kind of senior system. Senior security analyst. We're going to hide these two folks. The location that I've given for reporting analytics is India, since it is taking India. The subordinate organization that I've created is with the location in India, and there is a reason when you're having an employee. The template has got to earlier. We have, since it was a US position, we have primary, first name and last, and the kind of mandatory. As for the India template, we only have a given name that we need to provide for the candidate. Based on the location, based on the country, it will change. Now I'm taking John. Oh, this one is Barbara. All right. Since it is in there and the big into this state, based on the template, you will be seeing this to be created. I think in this tenant for India, there's is a different kind of option that are configured. That's about 25 on the C. I have just a high enough, and what we need to do The football, sir? Now we have two positions hiding the system, and that was this one. Now when it has two positions for John and I need to be created. That cannot be done because Steven is managing different. The inheritance will happen. Things will go for superior manager. If we wanted to hard code, if this person has to be a member, what we need to do, we need to move these employees to this organization. Move Jessica and Andrew to this organization. Jessica Steven will be taking care of 4 members. Or else immediately Robert Williams will be getting inherited to this one. And automatically all the approvals, any kind of things will be going for Robert. Robert will be taking care. Got? What is the next step that we need to do? We need to hire 2 folks in Steven's organization. Anyone wanted to do this one? Do you guys have anyone have the talent handy that you wanted to create positions and hire these 2 folks? Similar step, what we have done. We can do fast. Anyone can do this task. create two positions and Stephen's organizations and hire those two positions and make the members. Anyone can do this who have 10 handy or can request a control to me and can access my tenant, my screen, to create those two positions and hire those two employees, which is to be fast. Anyone wanted to do. No worries, I'll do it. I need to create two positions and Stephen's organization, right? I think that is the security. In initial, how does it work? It doesn't matter anything. The second one, the United States. Well, it and this system would be selected within certain. The position has to be, I guess, where it was taken. Is it Dallas? Someone has made changes. I think because someone who is doing it, we didn't get this option for the US. Someone is making changes. The second position. In manually, you know you'll not do these activities. Now, what do? You're doing is in order to understand the process we're doing. But in actual scenario, you'll not manually hire employees unless there is a request for you from any business to hard put the employees. How to understand the process? We are actually doing this, but in actual scenario, we'll not do manual hiring. This is the approval email. You'll be attaching a resume of the candidate, offer letter, all those things you can attach here, that when you go into the documents of an employee, you'll be seeing the resume, offer letter, or any kind of email communications would have made to add an employee approval. Now you will be attaching here. We can trigger the offer letter also to the candidate. Yes, Vin. This tenant has that, but generally what they can generate offer letter also. I mean, in this also, do we need to select the second one in the last one, the one which we have selected? Which one we selected? In the locations itself, we are seeing many Dallas, right? In that, do we need to select the second one? You need to actually go to that related actions and find what is the delivered one, or someone has created this one. This is the delivered one. Actually, wherever you see it is used for business site and location, this is delivered. But for others, you'll not be seeing these options. Actually selecting the location, make sure that business site and location should be business site, which is nothing but office. For others, people don't know what to be selected, right? Those will be planned actually. Now we have two positions that we have created under Steven. What is the next step? Now we will have a role. Now again we need to create positions under Steven, and no, we already created, but we have to have a role for John. We created these positions and we hired these folks. Now we need to have Jessica and Andrew. We already hide these two also. Jessica and Andrew also hide. I think we have to make John do both of them for the manager for the last subordinate role. We need to have these organizations created. Then we need to have a support organization and connect reporting organizations, create and make these folks as managers for those things, and then hide these folks. That would be the last step. What do we need to do? We need to create subordinate organizations. What are the ways that I told you yesterday? 2 ways to create subordinate organizations. What are those? Create positions. To create subordinate organization, you can go and create an organization from here and make Steven's organization superior once you create an organization from such part. Or you can go from related actions and create subordinate organization from here also. I'll do both ways that you'll see multiple options. For the organization, create subordinate. Workday support is the organization name. Include manager name as how Steven's name is got with the organization. I also wanted to have John's name to be populated in Workday support. I've selected include manager leader name checkbox. Organization subtype, what would be the thing? Subtype would be department. Always when you're creating a subtype should be department. Now, if you don't give location, automatically Steven's location will be getting inherited. If I give location, whatever I'm given, it will be there. But if I'm not giving any location, I said among 4 locations is also one thing that will get inherited. If I don't give Steven's organization, location will get inherited. We'll test this one. I won't give any location. Submit this one. Now, since you're actually creating subordinate organization from the related actions of Steven's organization, you're not seeing any other option, staffing model, org assignments, or the other options that you'll be having. You're not seeing those options because you're creating subordinate organization from the related actions of superior organization. That's the reason why those are not coming automatically. Those things will be getting inherited. Now I'm not giving location. I won't give staffing model. Staffing model will be getting inherited. And since I'm not giving any manager now, automatically the moment this organization gets created, Steven will become the manager because roles also will be getting inherited. The moment I create this organization, Steven will be becoming manager for Workday support. Automatically based on the inheritance policy, Steven will be becoming the manager of this one. If I go automatically Workday support, Steven has become the manager. What we need to do, we need to edit this organization and make John as a manager for that. The support, Steven has got inherited. What we need to do, we need to go to related actions. We need to change the rules. This is the defaulted and has got inherited. This is the defaulted and has got inherited. This is the defaulted and has got inherited. We have, and it's great. One more. Workday Connect, and it's great. This is an organization which makes me as manager since we created from the related actions. Now we'll go with from the search bar to make you understand the difference. It's super. Realization. Since we're creating new organization to provide to the organization, what is the name of the organization? Workday Connect. And location visibility. I can do Texas. And since I'm creating from the search bar certain position management and rules, I will be moving. The of the rules are there now. You can see all the rules are assigned to Logan McNeil, which is incorrect configuration generally. That is the reason why we don't want to have in what store organizations that we're creating. It will create a problem actually. There is a reason why I'm moving all the invalid roles that are configured at supervisor organization level. The way these are coming up here is the roles are assigned to supervisor. That is the reason why when the supervisor is getting created, automatically those roles will be coming up. How to create and how to assign to superior as a voice? Probably. I'll show you when we are discussing in the security concept. Still 19 drones are there showing up. What I do is I click on. I'll go to the roles. The name got changed to Logan McNeil. Since 19 roles are there, those roles have got Logan McNeil. Let me write. Now we have created work the current formation, but we have not assigned superior to this. We need to assign superior organization. Who will be the superior for this one? Steven's organization would be superior for this one. In order to assign superior organization, what we need to do? What are the organization? That is the reason why you're not seeing any superior organization in the list. Go to reorganization event. Since we did to date is with the superiors, Steve. This would be part of our mission hierarchy. Steven's organization would be here. I can see they connect Amy with the support. What is the next? We need to create one last subordinate organization which will be owned by Andrew. Did we hire this person, Andrew? I don't remember that we hired this person. What we'll be doing? We'll be creating one subordinate organization. Under Andrew, I think the mobile number is not updated. All those are data corrections. And the kind of concept. Mobile numbers and all are probably. Those are not mandatory. We would have missed. We need to create subordinate organization under the bar. What are the two ways that I said? One is from search bar. One is from reactions. Is that we have not validated? See the inheritance, but we'll see now. Whatever Barbara's location would be there, that would be inherited to this organization. I'm not giving anything. So reporting analytics. Barbara has got inherited, and we can go to the details and see that location has got inherited or not. Location has got inherited from Barbara's organization. Since we have not given it automatically inherited location inherited from superior. Now what we need to do? We need to make Andrew as a manager for this organization. How many to do? What do you need to do in order to make and as a manager? Rows are central. Go to the rules. assign though. One double. We got the structure. Let's go to our chart and see whether it is as what we've designed or not. This is the top level organization under which Robert Williams is a member. And these two are subordinate organizations, Barbara and Stephen. Barbara has one organization with Andrew will be. Jessica and Andrew are members and Andrew is a subordinate. He'll be holding all the reporting organization as for this one. And similarly, if you go back to the top, we can see Stephen's organization. If I mean. The next step is we need to hide these folks. 6 folks positions we need to create, and these 3 organizations and hide these folks. Probably this window in our tomorrow's session. For whatever we've done, we went with this structure actually. We just created the top level one. We created this organization. Hide this employee. Made this employee manager for this organization. We didn't actually have these numbers. We created these 2 organizations. And next step is we will be hiring these employees and making these employees as manager for this organization. Stephen will be hired into this organization. Stephen will be made as a kind of manager for world security, supposed automation, and Barbara will be made as a manager for this organization. Then we'll be hiring these 2 folks under this organization and these 2 folks under this organization. Once we have this complete our structure, then what we'll do is we'll be having John as a kind of manager for the support organization under which we'll be having these 2 folks hired. And then we'll be creating MB as a kind of manager for supposed automation under which we'll be having these 2 folks hired. And under Barbara's organization we'll be having world security. reporting Supervisory created, where Andrew will be made as a kind of manager, under which Johnson and Simons will be members of the support managers. We didn't actually proceed with a lot of stuff. We just created top level 1. Only the thing is we created a non-supposer organization company hierarchies that I'll show you. I'll proxy as Logan. Logan has permissions. Is there any kind of confusion with the structure when we create it? I don't know about people who are not there. They might have some questions, but folks who were there in yesterday's session, you guys have any questions with what we created yesterday? I think it made pretty sense yesterday. I don't have any questions. There's who were not there yesterday. What we'll do is I'll try to follow the same structure what we have here. Since we created the top level one, I still have to create the bottom subordinate organization. I'll be following the same steps. Whatever I've done here will be following the same steps for these formation creations as how I've hired Robert Williams. I'll also be hiring Stephen Barbera and be making them as a kind of managers, and also will be creating the bottom downshifts of one-eyed organizations. I think whatever you guys missed, hardly hiring an employee would be a kind of important task that, in a way, you'll be seeing when I'm hiring these guys. And how I'm making this Robert Williams kind of organization as a superior same. I'll be making Stephen's organization, Barbara's organization as superior for these subordinate organizations. Whatever you missed yesterday will be covered when I'm creating all these things. You shouldn't be missing anything. You'll be clear with the structure when I follow the same steps for these formation creations. The other thing is org assignments. I created a company hierarchy and cost center, hierarchy cost center. We've just created that one. We have not assigned to super user organizations. However, I've created this create company hierarchy. Went with this task. and the organization is nothing but an event action. Every organization that you create in work, be it supervisory, be it non-supervisory, any organization that you create in work, this reorganization event will pop up for you the moment you start creating organization. The reason why it pops up is it will be tracking all the additions, all the changes that you're making to the organizations in Workday. Whenever you are creating any supervisory organization or whenever you're creating any non-supervisory organization, you have to mention your reorganization. And also, whenever you're making changes to the existing supervisory organization or existing non-supervisory organization, you need to mention the reorganization event. The reason why you need to mention is this is something which will be tracking the additions or the changes that you're making to the organizations. Tomorrow, whenever you wanted to know when did I make this change or how did this change happen, if you wanted to know, you can report through reorganization. The reorganization event is nothing but which is a bucket or a container that used to track or trace the changes that you're making to the organizations. The reorganization event is an important event without which you cannot create any organization. Yesterday we created one reorganization event which we are using, this one which we are using for all the organizations that we have created. Create company hierarchy is a simple task. I went through create company hierarchy. Given the company hierarchy name, subtype is always. I would request everyone to go on mute. I think this is echoing me. I'll be every time. Whatever the activity that you do for non-supervisory organization, be it company hierarchy, be it company cost center hierarchy, the subtype would be relevant to that. Since I'm creating company hierarchy, my subtype would be company hierarchy. Visibility, everyone. It's simple. You'll be providing these details. Since these are not relevant roles, we'll be removing these roles. And when you click on whatever name that you have given, with that name your company hierarchy would be created, and similarly company. Similarly, the same task you'll have for company. Create company is a task. Once you have this task, save again and you'll be selecting the reorganization event. Here subtype would be company. Visibility, everyone. You'll provide your company name and remove all these things which are not relevant. Then you click on your company will be created. And since you have created a company and company hierarchy, now the thing is you need to assign your company under hierarchy. Because hierarchies are nothing but which will be holding multiple companies. Let's say you have a company in the US which is a headquarter company in the US, and you are establishing your companies in other countries, India, Mexico, Singapore and all. Now you have created all the 3 companies Singapore. India and Mexico companies you have created. Now you have to assign under your top level company, right? Which is nothing but a hierarchy. This is a company hierarchy that we have created. Yesterday, we did not assign this to hierarchies. I'm not seeing it. We created one company for USA and we have created one company for India. And similarly, we have created company hierarchy. I thought we were assigned to hierarchy. I'm not seeing that. As you see, this is a company hierarchy. And there's a company for India and this is a company for USA. And similarly, we have a cost center. Cost center for India, cost center for USA. Now, since we have created one hierarchy with the systems and technology, and we need to have these two individual companies to be attached under hierarchy, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting those two companies under hierarchy. I think we have done this today. I don't know what has happened. I'll be going to reorganization of company hierarchy. Assign included organizations. Those are already assigned. Once you assign them, you will be seeing your organization structure like this. Which organization structure? A company organization structure we will be using. Company hierarchy will be top level one, which will be holding individual companies. And similarly, cost center also will be seen the same way. This is the hierarchy. This is cost center hierarchy, which will be holding two cost centers. One is for India, one is for US. That's how we know, the same as how we have created the company hierarchy, and companies create cost center hierarchy and create cost center. When you create cost center hierarchy, you'll be giving this name and subject. Similarly, cost center will be giving this name and subject. One other thing is subtype. You'll be selecting as hierarchy, and here you'll be selecting as cost center and subject. And if you want to add these two cost centers to hierarchy, go to relay directions of this one. Reorganization assign included organizations. Give these two names and click on. You'll be seeing these two organizations included with hierarchy. And then when you come to the org chart, you'll be seeing whatever that you have assigned under hierarchy will be populating as how you're seeing. That's what we have done initially before we created subtype organization. Did this make sense? Or do you guys want to see how it actually gets created? Simple task: create company hierarchy, create cost center, hierarchy cost center, give the name, submit, and assign individual organizations into hierarchy. Simple task. Only the thing is, once you have created this one, you need to assign this to supervisor organization, which we have not assigned yet. We need to assign this. That's the only other thing you need to know. But the rest of the things we'll be covering when we create these 2 or level 2 and level 3 organizations will be covering. Should I move to creation of this org structure? Supervisor. Yes. This is the organization structure that we have created yesterday. Let me show you the org structure. We just created a supervisory and then 2 subordinates, hired 1 employee to this, made that employee manager for this organization. And then we are to create a few more employees and as members of this organization who will be managing this organization automatically. Few things will be getting inherited at our mission level. What are those things that will be getting inherited? From yesterday's session. What are the things will be getting inherited when you create supervisory organizations? Rows cost center. Rows is one thing, but we made Robert as a kind of manager. Manager has a role. Manager will be getting inherited from this organization to this subordinate organization. That is the reason why you're seeing Robert Williams has got inherited to these organizations. Since there is no manager assigned to these 2 organizations, automatically superior organization's manager will be getting inherited. Once we assign manager, we'll be breaking that inheritance. Roles will be getting inherited. What else? Staffing model will be getting inherited. Staffing model will get inherited. We've created position management staffing model with this one. The same staffing model will be getting inherited to these 2 subordinate organizations. What else? Location will be getting inherited. Whatever location that we have given at top level organization, the last will be getting inherited to these 2 subordinate organizations automatically. What? Org assignments. Org assignments is nothing but non-supervisory organizations. We have not given it here. Whatever you'll be assigning at top level, the same non-supervisory organization company hierarchy, cost center, will also be getting inherited to this one. Since we have not assigned this one, we are not seeing this one. Once we are done with the entire organization structure, we'll be assigning this to top level and we'll be seeing that inheritance will be flowing to all the downstream subordinate organizations. There are 4 things. This would be your interview question. What are the things that will be getting inherited when you create a supervisory organization? 4 things that you need to remember. Roles are nothing but for supervisory organization. You'll be assigning manager role. Whoever manager role is assigned at top level organization will be getting inherited. Example you are seeing here, Robert Williams is made as a manager. Manager is nothing but a role, right? Manager role. That role has got inherited to these 2 subordinate organizations. The other thing is location. Whatever location that you have assigned here automatically will be getting inherited if you won't provide any other location. And similarly, staffing model. Whatever staffing model, position management that you have selected or job management that you will be selecting here, the same will be getting inherited here. The other thing, org assignments. Non-supervisory organizations, company hierarchy, company cost center hierarchy will be getting inherited if you assign a top level organization. Now what we have done here, we created 2 subordinate organizations as per this organization, but we need to have these 2 members. These 2 members hide under this supervisor organization, and then we'll be making these 2 as managers for these 2 subordinate organizations. What is the step that we need to create before hiring? What we need to have before we hire an employee to the organization? We need a position. We need to have it before we hire an employee. The reason why we need to have a position is because the organizations that we have created are of position management staffing model. Whenever we have a staffing model called position management, which means that a position has to be created before we hire an employee. And 99% staffing model position management is used across all the customers that I've seen. I haven't seen job management staffing model that has been used, which does not require any position. Position management is the common and mostly used staffing model. And this would be also a kind of question for you. What is a position management staffing model, or what are the staffing models that you have? 2 staffing models we used to have. One is position management, the other one is job management. What is the difference between position management and job management? When you create your supervisor organization with position management and staffing model, you need to have a position to be created before you hire an employee. Without position, you cannot hire an employee when you create your staffing model as position management. And similarly, job management. Job management does not require any staffing model. Sorry, job management does not require any position when you hire an employee. It goes with broad job requirements, like if a candidate is meeting the experience. If a candidate is meeting the responsibilities of the position with the economic details, with the experience that this job requires, you'll go without creating a position. You'll hire an employee under job management staffing model. But this staffing model is not mostly used one because every customer is preferring to have a position before they hire an employee. If they are going for, you might be seeing a lot of Workday positions or a lot of positions coming to your LinkedIn. That is because the position would have created and the position would have attached to job requisition, and job requisition would have posted in job posting sites. All this will be happening through position only. Without the position, they'll be not able to do these activities. Posting the job requirements in LinkedIn with job requisition, and all are through position management staffing model. Now tell me the difference between position management and job management. What is the difference between position management and job management? For job management, we don't require a staffing model. We don't require a position to be created. We don't require positions to be created. What about position management? We need to create a position under position management. We need to have a position in order to hire an employee. If you wanted to hire an employee, you definitely need to have a position for that employee. The same we'll be seeing here. Now, what we need to do, we need to have Stephen and Barbara under Robert Williams' organization because folks are becoming managers for these two organizations. What is the task that we need to create position? What is the task that we need to do to create a position? Today we will see how it will get added and how those will get inherited to downstream subordinate organization. And the other thing is hiring process. As I said, you will not generally do manual hiring in any scenario, in actual case. But now, since we wanted to understand the step-by-step process, we are manually hiring. But in general scenario, you will only create our own business. In general scenario, you will not hire an employee. You will pick the employee that is already hired in the system through hire business process. We will be having the business process that will take care of all the activities. Generally, since this is training tenant, we will not be finding the default business process here because there are a lot of duplicates. You can see a lot of duplicates are there. We will see hundreds of higher business process that has got created. Almost we have 100 business process that are copied from existing business process. Similarly, there will be a default one which somewhere it could be. That is the reason why, in order to avoid this kind of duplicates, what we have done, we have inserted this higher business process that is already provided by Workday to the organizations which we have created. That is the reason why we were able to hire. Without that step, you will not be able to hire. I will show how you can do that. how we have inserted the hire business process in order to hire an employee. Without this step, we wouldn't have hired employees into this business process. Create copy or link definition. Business process type hire. Since we already created this in this organization, we will not be able to find, but I'm just trying to show hire business process. Click on hire. Once you get click on, then you should be able to hire employees into your organization. Without having this step, you will not be able to hire an employee. That is one thing that you need to do as part of activities. But in actual scenario, you will not do this because you will be picking business process, will be automating hire process. You'll be picking the employee who is already there in the system. Now what we need to do, we did not assign all the assignments. The company hierarchy which we have created, we have not assigned. There's a reason why these are blank. What we'll do, we'll do allocation of all the assignments that will be getting inherited to all the downstream subordinate organizations. What we have created, I think we have created these 3 organizations also. These 3 organizations will get inherited. These 2, these 3, every subordinate organization will be getting inherited with the arguments that we'll be making. But there are some Indian subordinate organizations are there. We'll go to that subordinate organization. I think Barbara's was something India. What we'll do is we'll edit this one and make update. In order to assign, all the assignments go to related actions of the supervisor organization. Suppose the organization edits supervisor organization. Here you can see company call center that we can allocate. Here we'll be assigning company hierarchy. And whatever companies that are there under this will add as a kind of top. Let's say US, because Robert Williams belongs to US company. There is a reason why I already used company. Now the moment I click on, those are the segments will be added to top level. The moment it gets added, same will be getting inherited to downstream subordinate organizations. If I go to subordinate organizations, you can see those are added. And those ing, like that from top level organization or the same as getting inherited. As how staffing model location, the roles will be getting inherited. similarly or the same as getting. Now, Barbara's organization is something we've given in India. Something in India. What we can do, we can edit her organization and assign company India. The moment we update Barbara's organization, what will happen? The moment we update Barbara's organization with the assignments the same, the update will get inherited to Andrew's organization. Because there is a downstream subordinate organization for Barbara's. These three will not get impacted because we are only editing Barbara's organization. Whichever organization is under Barbara's will be getting inherited with the update that we'll be making. We'll be taking India. Now go to Andros and see whether the Andros organization has got updated. That's how your inheritance works. It's simple, but it is not how we can manage this. Conceptually, you'll not be adding the company's cost centers to any top level and ensure that those are getting inherited. That is not your job, but you need to know the concept. You need to know the concept. These are the questions that can be questioned during your interviews. And if you're going for certification, these are the questions that will arise in your certification. The next step is the last step that we are left with. Hiring members into the last third level of organization. For all these three organizations, we need to create positions. Since it is a repetitive activity, I'll not go with multiple and waste time. I'll just take one for each organization and create a position. I will be talking about families' profiles in a while. Since we have not selected this one is asking that you need to enter job profile meetings. These are mandatory for positions. Now we have 3 positions for 3 organizations that we have created. And we have a list. Let's start from here. We're hiring for NDs of mission. Support for India has come. Cancel this. The last comment. The last comment. Where was it coming in the I have a member. What is the next? It doesn't work any certain addition. If you are hiring employee manually, you need to get this screen. Then only your head will be in the right format. If you are directly getting into the high screen without selecting the form of occur or new high, it might be not the right one that you're choosing. Oh my gosh! And this is India. I mean, it's which one is this one? This one's India. This is India. This is India. This one is coming. Something is invited with this one, and it's just I think this is wrong. This is the location that people have created. This is an organization. This is the location of the market as the EU. Just when you're actually using this, ensure that you are doing right from it. The permission stretch. Just ignore this one. Don't want to waste time for this, but when you're actually looking that, ensure that you're taking a proper location. This one. That is the reason when we are actually hiring employees was defaulting to India. Because of that, it was actually defaulting to India. Probably is hired. What is the next step that we need to do? What is the next? You need to hire a member of Barbara's organization. What is the organization under Barbara? And those are pencil reporting. We need to hide this. This position is based out of India. Probably here we have some meaning that if India comes earlier, there was no meaning because the location was yes. And it was operating India, which is not the right. The reason, we know the location was created incorrectly. Generally, the recruiting recruiter will be creating job profiles. And whenever hire is take place, automatically that gets fixed up. a job profile is nothing, but when we are going for hiring, we'll be creating a job profile with job description. Job profile is nothing but a kind of characteristics that defines the characteristics of job. What is the level of the job? What is the position of the job? What is the compensation range for the job? And job description, work shift, all those things you'll be discussing in job profile. When you are hiring an employee, when you are posting the job, once job is created, job requisition will be posted to all the job posting portals. Before we post that, we'll be attaching job profile. That is the reason why people will be asking, do you look at the job description? Do you look at the job profile that you had? Job profile is nothing, but it defines how your job is going to be. What kind of characteristics that job has. Since you know the analytics one that we have created is not there, I'll be taking something related over there. Now we are done with the complete RFSAT channel that we have built here. Whatever we have built, as per that, we have created the complete automation hierarchy. Sorry, it has to go to this one. Now if you go to the chart, you must see everything as per this one. Now Robin reporting analytics. This is Barbara. We must see Andrew. Under Andrew organization, we must see Johnson. This one is Andrew. And we have Andrew under this one. Johnson we have hired. Andrew organization is subordinate for Barbara's organization. Now Johnson we have hired under Andrew's organization. This one. This is what we have. Barbara is subordinate for the top level. And the third level, Andrew is subordinate for Barbara. And Johnson has got hired under Andrew's organization. We have Jessica Andrew under Barbara. And Andrew is a manager for this one. Barbara seen and Stevens have seen two organizations. Amy's and John. Under Amy we have Robin. Under John we have Colin, I believe. We have Colin. We have entire organization structure as per this structure that we have created. Now the thing that you need to remember is we have created an organization structure. We have created an organization structure in the background. We have created org assignments and assigned to organizations. And those got inherited to these things. When we say Stevens organization, which company the Stevens organization is holding? I think whichever has got inherited, that is USA company. Barbara's organization will bring the inheritance provided India company. And similarly, Andrew's got India, and these two has got India company in India, US company and US cross center for these two. Now org assignments are allocated at organization level, supervisor organization level. When we say which company this Robin Williams organization will belong to, will defaultly say this belongs to US. But if you see here, Barbara's organization, US has got inherited, but we break that inheritance. Now Barbara's organizations will be under India company, India cross center. What about these two employees? What about these two employees? We have assigned organizations at supervisor organization level, but we also need to have this allocated in the company, right? If you are hiring. And Jessica and Andrew under India company. These two must be under India company. We go to Colin's profile. What Colin's has to be? Colin has to be under US company. We go to his profile. Organization. This one. Now if I go to company, I'm seeing the Colin under this one. I go to company, I see Colin Robin. Under US company, I'm seeing this one. Similarly, we go for India company. Barbara is hiring. What Andrew must have? What Andrew and Jessica must have? The organizations. This is the way that we hired. How come on this system? We did not remove all those things. How come this location is not added? We did not remove this thing. Let's see Jessica. Here, since we have break the inheritance, it was a US and we went to India. This has not got updated. What we need to do? We need to update company and call center for these folks. That we should be able to see them under that. In order to update company call center, go to employee profile. Change org assignments. What is company? What? There we go. You've got the same source Century got India and India cost of company hierarchy and cost of hierarchy. Similarly, we need to do for Android as well. Wherever you break that inheritance, you need to actually update that one that it will be valid. Actually, probably we would have missed removing those things when you're updating that. That's the reason those got automatically added. We should have looked at it. Now, what is the step that we need to update company and cost center? We need to go to change organization assignments in employee profile. In employee profile, change org assignments you need to pick up. Click on this. Now it got updated. Similarly, whenever someone asks you what is the company that employee belongs to, you need to, if you don't go to suppose their organization and say that it is different, you need to come to employee profile job organizations and see which company that employee is belonging to, which hierarchy, which cost center employees belonging to. You need to actually check in that way. That is clear. Now at organization level, suppose your organization level, if you wanted to view what is a cost center, what is a company that organization is associated with, you need to go to suppose it's again a business process, depends upon the requirement. we can add approval steps or action items to that particular business process step. Let me find default one. The default one that is not associated with any of the approval steps. There is a reason why we have not seen any approval. But if you need approval, you need to go to that particular business process, add a step for approval. Then give a person who, whether it is a manager or manager's manager, who has to approve that one, give their security group. It will go first and upload, and this is how your business process will be. Right now, it is just, if you want any approval, you'll be adding one more step in step order B. Let me turn to show you probably business process. We'll be doing all those things. We'll be adding steps. We'll be adding approvals. All these things we'll be doing in our business process. But since you asked, I'll just show you how it works, and this much time is taking. There's an approach for change arcs. When our company or customer is getting changed, we'll add an approach. Actually, whoever the security that is defined by business will be defining that security in this. I'm just showing you now randomly. I'll pick someone. Once I click on this and submit, an approval will be sent to people who are associated with the security group. That's how generally goes based on the requirement. We'll do all the approvals in our draft because the business process, the security groups are not valid. When we get into business process, we'll be adding our own security. We'll be creating our own security group and will be assigned for few people, and then we'll see how we can approve those things, and all in business process concept. But for now, to answer this, we can do this based on the requirement. For now, there is no approval step after the business process, and that is the reason why, as we submit that change our request, there is no approval step to that developer. These are nothing but job profiles. Workday developer, lead developer, hers and lists reporting. Specialists are job profiles. Whatever we create on developer, only developer on hers and reporting, which define the specifications of this job profile. What these two are not. Now we have something called job family. Family. What is job family? Your family is nothing but which you'll be holding all the Workday technology is the job family that will be holding all the job profiles related to Workday. And similarly, we have job family, family group, which is an umbrella for these two. HR systems is job family group which will be holding job family called Workday technology. And Workday technology is a family that will be holding all the job profiles related to Workday. These three are interlinked. If I ask you get me job family of all the Workday people, if I ask you or get me employees of HR systems, if I ask what you'll do, I wanted to have all the employees under job family group called HR systems. If I ask you get me all the employees under job under HR systems, what you'll do, you'll create a report and you'll filter with HR systems. If I ask you get me all the list of the job profiles that are available in the system which are under job family called Workday technology. If I ask you, we'll create a report and you filter with Workday technology as a kind of job family under which you'll be getting all these job profiles. If I ask employees, whoever employees associated with these profiles, those will be populating in a report. Now basically job profiles, job family group are interlinked, and when there is a reporting requirement for you, these are used best for filtering. For reporting purpose, this makes your job easy to filter. In general scenario, forget about this thing. Forget about this thing. In general scenario, if there is a requirement that some of the leadership team ask you, get me all the IT employees, we may have daily labors. We may have manufacturing, we may have the plant or any. The daily labors. We'll be working on daily wages. We have all the there is a request for you from leadership, get me all the employees who are working in information technology. If we have such kind of report requirement, there would be a job family specific to information technology under which all the information technology job profiles are attached. And if you wanted to have members under information technology, you create a report. You'll filter with job family called information technology, under which you'll have all the job profiles to which employees are tagged. All those will be populating in a report. Similarly, this job family group are specifically used for reporting purpose. When there is a need to return the data based on the family group, you'll use this for reporting. And ideally the concept is job family group is an umbrella which will be holding families, and family is nothing but which will be holding job profiles. Go to Robin's profile and click on this information systems. You can see her position is work analyst. Job profile is I as analyst. You click on this Hi Analyst and we're seeing job family as public human resource information systems. We click on this and we're seeing job profile and job family group. Workday is a job family group under which we have job family called Workday Her Information Systems, and if you click on job family, they'll be holding job profile high list. Job family group is an umbrella that will be holding job family, and job family is nothing but which will be holding job profiles. If you go to this job profile high list, this will be giving you all other characteristics of a job. What is the job level? What is this job, family and compensation range? It will be given what would be the compensation grade. Grade is nothing but range of a compensation. We'll see how we can actually create grades around in our compensation concept. But remember, grade is nothing but which gives you the pay range of an employee and all other information of job. Basically, job description and all will be available which you can see. This is not created completely. Let's create one job profile and attach to job family and then attach to job family group. We'll see how it works. I'll take another 5 minutes, create job profile. As of today, job profile name intake integration developer. The same. We wanted to have job title be populated and we'll take this job title. Job level, management level, and all will be giving which management of this. I think tenant does not have management level, job level generally. Director, senior director will be having job family. Since we have not created, we'll be just keeping as it is. Once we create, we'll be attaching the job profile, and if there is any kind of a reference payment plan for this job profile, because this is specifically used for recruiting, right? If there is any reference referral bonus that is attached, this one will be attaching that bonus, and shift is required for this one. You will attach the shift. This is generally a recruiter's job. Will not do this job. A recruiters will be doing this, and if the position is a hard to fill, we'll be actually selecting this one critical job, and here we'll be assigning the compensation grade. If there are any unions based on the job profile, you'll be attaching those unions there, and here you'll be specifying this job description, roles and responsibilities of the job. Here's your family. Whatever job profile I've created, I'll be attaching to the family here. Now we have job family with the integration which you can hold it the profile. You can have multiple job profiles under one job family. You can have integration developer. You can have a reporting developer. You can have a data developer. Any number of profiles you can have under from the job. The job family is nothing but which will be holding job profiles. Now we have job family. Another thing is we need to create job family group. Here's your family group. This one is now we have job family group with Earth systems under which we have job family, the integrations and which we can have job profile of the integration developer, and you can have under one job family group. You can have many job families under one job family. You can have multiple job profiles. There is no specification for this one. You will not typically create all those things in Workday. You will have basically for reporting. That will be helpful for you if you know what is this thing. But other than this, you will not be creating any job profiles groups because that is not our job. Recruiter will be doing all those things. But for you to understand in reporting areas, in order to filter those criteria, I'm actually giving this, but generally you'll not create all those things, even profiles also. Job profiles also will not create. Recruiter's job is that to create profiles and attach to position. If I ask you to actually get all the members under one job family, you'll be creating a report and you'll be filtering with job family that whoever are associated with this job family, they'll be coming up in the report. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.